Summer Leonidas. One of the more recent additions to our Shadowlance roster, he brings a Force Strike-centric style of play, as well as Dragon Drive mechanics, Shadowblight support, and Defense Amp, a new defensive addition to our adventurer's capabilities. As always, my name is Xenozillus, and let's get straight to it. Summer Leonidas' first ability is Summer Conqueror, granting him a Dragon Drive gauge. This Dragon Drive gives him a 3-level Force Strike that hits for a total of over 3,500% damage, as well as a 50% strength increase. His first skill, Exigent Vanquisher, deals 1,548% damage and grants 800 points to the Dragon Drive gauge, which has a cap of 3,000 points. During Dragon Drive, the skill's damage increases to 2,022% and inflicts a 20% Shadowblight resist down debuff for 30 seconds. Skill number 2 is Phantasmic Servant, dealing 1,708% damage, inflicting Shadowblight, granting his team a 50% Shadowblight affliction chance buff, and also granting a defense amp up to a maximum of team level 2. Defense amp has the same leveling system as Strength amp, but at team level 3 it grants 90% defense. It's not quite possible to hit level 3 yet, but it's a pretty significant buff to survivability. As for the rest of his kit, there's your standard Lance hit point co-ability and a Shadowblight equals Strength chain co-ability, which gets overshadowed by double buffs in standard content, or just completely nullified in Sinister Dominion, so it doesn't really come into play. As for abilities, there's Blindness Resist, which is so-so, and Shadowblight Edge, increasing Leonidas' chance of inflicting Shadowblight by 50%. Coupled with the rest of his kit, when piloted well, this should guarantee Shadowblight applications on your skill too. So how do you set up Leonidas? Well, Dragon Drive units benefit from Dragon Haste, and Leonidas is a Force Strike-centric unit. This means a backline of Ieyasu, Summer Yuden, and Grace are a good combination to boost the main source of his damage, as well as make it slightly easier to get into Dragon Drive. Wyrmprint-wise, run Lance skill damage, Shadow-Blighted Punisher, and Force Strike prints in the 5-star slots. For the 4-star slots, run Poison Punisher if it's appropriate for the team, and then a combination of hit points equals strength buffs and Lance's Boom Sinister Dominion prints, preferably the Sword Psalm and crit ones. When it comes to rotation, it's pretty simple. Use your skills as they come up. Prioritize Dragon Drive if it's available for the 50% strength increase. Once you're in Dragon Drive, use the fully charged Force Strike whenever you don't have skills available. As a tiny sub-optimization, I drop Dragon Drive when I notice I have a bit left, but not enough to fully charge a Force Strike. I'm not actually sure if it does anything, but if I do it 3 or 4 times per fight, then that's an extra 4 strikes worth of gauge saved, right? Right? It's fairly simple to execute in Legend Cayenne, but I found Asura a bit annoying. A lot of the time I'd be charging a Force Strike just for it to redirect and overkill an orb, or an S1 being targeted into an orb that got destroyed before the skill landed. All in all, it's nice that we get a Shadowblight enabler, but his skills aren't shareable, and I feel like his execution becomes fiddly. A lot of the time you'll be trying to charge a Force Strike, and then you'll suddenly lock and pivot in place because your Dragon Drive ran out. He's fun to play and hit big Force Strike numbers with, but you'll also have to contend with his slightly odd rotation where you'll be dropping in and out of Dragon Drive, and having to swap between a slow Force Strike and just standard Lance combos. Summer Leonidas should become a staple pick for enabling Shadowblight Punisher for Asura regardless, due to Asura's 80% resistance, and possibly for future Sinister Dominion content as well. His Force Strike-centric gameplay also means he can sort of be a Linnea substitute for Legend Kai, since he can shred a respectable amount of overdrive. If I had Linnea, I'd probably run her instead though, as Shadowblight uptime isn't really a worry for Legend Kai when his Shadowblight resistance starts at 0. His lack of Dispel also means that if a shield appears at an inopportune time, he really doesn't have the option of punching straight through either. Your experience may vary. Did you pull for Summer Leonidas? How have you found him? I'm curious to hear if people run into the same issues I do, or if everything I talked about is just a personal skill issue. Leave a comment down below. As always, take it easy, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.